So, how many of y'all have had to fight? I'm not saying put up your fist and doof, 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 ding, ding, ding. You're in one corner and that is in the next corner and you got to fight. No, I'm talking about when you have a brain injury. You can either choose to fight to get through, or you can just sit there crumpled in a corner. Well, this is something that you've had to deal with or something that you've talked about. Come and sit with me for a while. I am Astor and this is Astor's Brain Injury. Thank you to all of y'all who's tuned in to see, what is she going to be talking about today? I know we've all heard the term, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And that sounds, so sweet. But when you have a brain injury, somebody's on the mic, all right now, in the left corner, we've got Astra sitting over there, standing over there. You're like, hoo. And over in the right corner, we've got brain injury. All right now, ding, 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 who's gonna win? Well, I can tell y'all, I lost so many times in this fight with my brain injury. It is something for me that has changed my life in a huge way. And the fight that I had, I'm sure y'all have heard me. And if you're new to my channel, I had to learn how to walk, how to talk, how to swallow, how to chew, how to do a whole lot of things. I couldn't bathe myself. I couldn't dress myself or undress myself. So I needed someone to do all of these things for me. The messages that was coming from my brains going out to the rest of my body, there was a disconnect. Huge disconnect. I did not even know when I needed to go to the washroom. And I would eat and then turn around, I would be eating again. And my family would be like, Astra, what are you doing? And I'm like, eating. They said, you just ate. I'm like, really? So I've had all of these kind of different issues. And then I had my speech. I became a stutterer. I couldn't speak. I could not speak properly and coherently. I would be saying, I need the pencil, but I would say, pass me my foot and things like this. So I was in a constant fight. And then I've got PTSD from that MVA that I had and everything, just a whole heap load of any and everything was served up by my brain injury that I had to fight through. Now, I'm sure my family, I know, I can't say I'm sure, I know my family has heard me say on numerous occasions, I'm tired. I am just tired. I'm tired of having to continuously fight through. I'm tired. Because, y'all, I can tell you it gets exhausting. I was really exhausted from all of this. And to me, it felt like a mental game that, you can play for a little while, but then afterwards you're like, I don't want no more of this. I'm done. But your brain injury is like, you feel you done? Well, guess what? I'm not done. So we gonna be continuing this, and it was a constant battle. Like I was in a battle, y'all. I was in a constant, always battling with my brain injury. I'm sure I've told y'all in my other videos talking about my hearing. So, when the airbags deployed, I was kind of like turned And so pop, pop, pop. And I remember thinking when the airbags was all going off in my car, I was like, I didn't know I had so many airbags. That was one thing that I was thinking about. And then the next, besides like, oh my gosh, the car's going to explode. We need to get out, because all that smoke that was coming out from the car. But I'm saying these things that when you have to be in a fight, it's not a good thing to always continuously be in a fight mode. But your brain injury doesn't like to play nice. Well, mine did. I don't know about y'all alone. Mine didn't want to play nice because I could be trying to sleep and my brain injury was like, you know what? You ain't getting no sleep today. What? What sleep? I don't want sleep. I want to party. I can akin it to this for ladies who have been pregnant and you're working throughout your day and now you come at night and you is ready to sleep. And, your baby's been lulled all the time as you walking about, going about. But then all of a sudden now when you want to go to sleep, your baby's like, what? I want to party. And they're like, party over here, woo, woo. And this is what they want to do. Well, this is what my brain injury wanted to do with me. And I had to be battling this. And I was like, I want to sleep. And I've lost many a battle. I've lost many a battle because my brain injury won. It's like, you're not sleeping. I want to have me a party. And guess what? Ding, 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 ding is going off in my ears. And so I could not go to sleep. I'm like, all right, brain injury, you won. So brain injury, 5, Astra, 0. That's how I had this constant battle until things started to subside a little bit and I began to understand a little bit better how my brain injury was working on me. And as I said, it's a constant fight. I had to become a fighter. I had to fight so that I can learn to walk. I had to fight so that I can talk properly. I had to fight so that I can see properly because, y'all, I had a lot of vision therapies done because my brains would just say the right part of my brain was shut down. So my left eye was not seeing. My right eye is pulling all of the heavy lifting, while my right eye was just like, I'm out, I'm on vacation. So I've had a lot of different issues that I've had to fight through, a lot of battles, y'all. Having a brain injury is a complete eye-opener for me. Like, it's a complete eye-opener. You have, it's not respect. I can't find the word that I'm looking for right now, y'all. But when somebody has gone through a brain injury, because now I've been through it, you have more compassion towards people on top of the compassion you already have. And the thing is, I don't just look at people with a brain injury like, whatever, you've got a brain injury. I didn't know, as I've said, y'all, I didn't know and I didn't understand what a brain injury was all about. Until now, I'm the one with the brain injury. As I said, I've heard about, you get a little, you get a concussion. I can't say it's a little because there's nothing little about it. But you get a concussion because you're playing sports, and these kind of things. You might fall off your bike and get a concussion. And, you're able to bounce back and get better. 3 months, you're fine. But for me, 3 months turned into 6 months, turned into a year, turned into longer. And my brain injury is like, well, guess what? I've won this battle. You're not winning it. I'm here to stay. So I've got a brain injury that has boofed down my door, knocked it down, and has moved in and said, guess what? I'm you, you're me, and there's no difference about it. And so having to fight, y'all, just to do something, fight just to pick up a pencil and to write, fight just to be able to not being bathed by someone, but me being able to bathe myself. Fight to try and remember things, and you can't. There are going to be days where, yes, I would remember some things, and there are days, many days, where I don't. Oh, Astra, do you remember da-da-da-da? What? No, I do not. Astra, remember you said you were going to da-da-da-da? What? No, I don't. So I've got a lot of those moments that I'm still fighting through, because now, present day, 11 years later, I am still having this battle. Yes, there's going to be some days where I've won, and there are a lot of days where I will lose. And again, when we're keeping that score, brain injury has 5, and Astra has got maybe 3 or 2. So there's sometimes I will win, but there's a lot of times I will not. And, having to continuously be in a battle with your own self, because this is your body, like this is me, and I've got to be fighting with me. Wow. I can't believe I just said that out loud, but yeah, that's true. I have to be fighting with me, because I've got to fight to be able to I had to fight to be able to walk up my stairs, to be able to come down my stairs, to be able to sit down and get up. It was a battle. It was a constant battle. Like constantly just doing these simple things. I couldn't even do simple tasks. That was another thing. So I had a constant back and forth, like that tug of war kind of a thing. And I can tell you it wasn't easy. It really was not easy. And I had to be persistent in order to get to where I'm at even right now. When my children, would be like, oh, it's mommy's brain injury. I mean, God bless them, but like that. My mother, she could have run for the hills, because I'm sure I was a hot mess. And for all those that was around me, it was a fight for them to see me even in the state that I was in. It was heartbreaking, because, when somebody is vibrant in their life, they're able to, oh, let's go. Because I could tell you all this. I mean, this was years ago. But I was like, we need to go stateside. And they're like, what? Why? I want to get me this phone. So I called up the place, because they weren't selling it here where I was at. And I was like, I called them up. And I'm like, you know what? Do y'all have this phone? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay. Can you just reserve this for me, please? I'm coming to get this. I'll be down whenever we came down. And I mean, that was something, impromptu. You can just pick up and you can go. To see now that you can't even handle the movement of the road that you see out the corner of your eye as you're driving, like that was just overloading for me too. So there was a lot of things that I had to fight through, and a lot of things that I'm still fighting through. Some things, yes, instead of them being all the way up here, they've come down to here, but they're still high in value for me. And it's not an easy thing to be a fighter, but it's persistence that helps you in this battle. That's all I can say to y'all. Let me know if you've had this. Like, have you thought of, ooh, I've got to be a fighter now. I don't like being a fighter. I've got to fight just to walk. I have to fight just to talk. I have to fight even just to chew my food. I've got to fight even just to think. I've got to fight. Like, the list can go on and on and on. But let me know if this is something that has happened to y'all. Have you thought about this? Do you realize that you're in a constant battle with your brain injury? Like, we've got brain injury over here in this corner, and then we've got, yourself over here in this corner. Who's going to win? Let me know. Have you thought about that? Have you experienced that? Have you come to that kind of realization that you're in a battle and you don't want to be in a battle? You don't want to be fighting, but you still do because you want to be able to reclaim who you were, or even some of who you were before. Let me know if you've had this. But as I said, all in all, it's a battle. You got to fight. I had to fight. I had to fight to be able to get to where I'm at. And had I given up, I shudder to think where I would have been. Yes, I know my brain injury wins a lot of the battles, but even if I can claim 2, I'm like, woohoo, I've got 2 under my belt, so to speak. Even though you've won 10 and I got 2, at least I'm still doing good. I got me even 2. So even that, it's a battle to try and keep yourself positive. It's a battle with a lot of things. Like, I had to fight through a lot of things, y'all. And I still do. To this present day, I'm still fighting through a lot of things. But when you change your mindset and be like, oh, okay, you may win, but I'm going to win maybe the next time. Even though I don't win the next time, maybe the next time I will win. Once you begin to change that mindset, it helps in a lot of ways. But let me know, are you a fighter or not? Did you persevere? How far have you come? Let me know. I'm curious to know, when was your accident and how far have you come from this accident? Let me know. So, I will take my leave now. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. I'll definitely see y'all in the next video. And with that, I shall take my leave and tell y'all bye. And before I do, take care. And please remember the comments. I love them. And I will definitely get back to y'all. It may take me some time sometimes. But, definitely keep the comments coming. I love them. And y'all take care. All right now. Bye.